back to this week's edition of Stockcar Rundown for Richmond this weekend. Before we start, I gotta sincerely apologize, guys. As I'm sure you noticed, I didn't put a video up last week. I had a little bit of sickness combined with technical difficulties trying to get my phone wouldn't hook up to my dang computer Sunday morning. It just did not work out real well. Apologize for that. Try not to make that let that happen again. But we're back this week, so we're gonna hit it hard. Hopefully, we make up for last week. All right, we're gonna get right into it here. So, the guys I'm really looking at this week. Start off with Kyle Larson. The man just dominated last week, as you guys saw. I would expect a lot of the same coming from him tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, he starts fourth, I believe, fourth or fifth. He's $10,100 this week. I would definitely expect him to lead a lot of laps, get a lot of the fastest laps. Definitely securing those bonus points this week is going to be key. So hopefully he does it for us. The only person I see possibly tracking him down tomorrow night is Truex at this point, which is my second guy on the list, coming in at $10,005. I'd look for him to give Larson a run for his money. Truex has led over 190 laps here, 2 out of the last 3 races. So that's a pretty big deal, and he probably would have won in the fall. Well, he would have won in the fall had a late caution not come out with 4 laps to go. He ultimately ended up wrecking and finishing 20th, I believe. So that definitely wasn't indicative to how he ran. So look for him. Both of them were fast today in practice, Larson especially. Truex was third, 10-lap average in both practices. He was probably the only one that was he was probably the most consistent one from first practice to second practice today. There was a lot of variation. Weather down there was pretty cold today too, though. It's going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. Not a ton though in the evening. So hopefully that all holds true and get a good run out of both those guys tomorrow. And then there's Kyle Busch. So he's on a little bit of a hot streak. Not all that thrilled about it, but you know, he's a hell of a driver. Got to give him that. But he stumbled a little bit today in qualifying. 32nd. That's rough. Coming from the back at Richmond is going to be a tall task, but gives us a real nice opportunity to cash in on some position differential points. So I'm probably going to pick him up. He's a little expensive, $11,400 this week, but it's justified. I mean, his average finish here over his career is 7.4. So even if he comes up and finishes his average, that's 25 position differential points, plus any fast lap bonus points, or maybe if he even leads a lap. It's not going to be far stretch to see him score 80 plus DraftKings points tomorrow. So probably going to end up with him on my teams. Going to be hard to fit him in salary wise, so we'll see how that works, since he's pretty expensive this week. But Brad Keselowski, I know I'm naming a bunch of guys who are pretty expensive. He's coming in at $10,300, but these are the guys who are probably going to be getting it done tomorrow. Same as Kyle, did not run well in qualifying today. He'll be coming from the 28th spot tomorrow, but he led 110 laps here last April. He didn't finish as near as good as he ran either. He had some problems with the late restart. But I would look for Brad to be coming up through the pack along with Kyle Busch tomorrow. Great mid-tier guy, probably my favorite mid-tier guy this week, Eric Almirola. He has some really good runs here in the 43 car, 4 top 10s in his career. Driving the 43, obviously he's in much better equipment this year, Stewart-Haas Racing. And he didn't qualify good either, 25th. So we got lots of potential for guys coming up through the field, getting us some good points that way. I definitely think he'll easily have a solid top 15, if not a top 10 tomorrow, which will net some pretty good points out of that. Clint will be my next guy on the list. Mr. Boyer had a really rough go of things here in the fall. Had a good car, just crappy finish. I mean, man had 2 pit road penalties, plus got in an accident on pit road because there was a dang ambulance parked in the way, like just dumb shit. So he doesn't run as bad as he finished here in the fall. He's actually pretty good. Richmond has a win, but that was a long time ago. I would definitely look for him to come up from a 16th place starting position tomorrow, get a solid top 10 out of the day. Who knows? Maybe he'll even run higher. He could get a top 5. I could see him up there. So we'll see how it goes. Suarez, 2 solid finishes here last year in his rookie season, so that's pretty impressive. He's only $6,900 this week, starting 26th. Again, all these guys coming from the back of the field, it should make for an interesting race. But he's got lots of room, like I said, to move forward, and obviously runs really well here. Probably his best track last year, so look for him to come through the field. Great showing at Bristol last week too, so they got a little bit of momentum on their side. My next guy is Casey Kane, $6,100, so pretty cheap. This is a solid track for him. That 95 team is starting to get their shit together this year, slowly but surely. They're running a little bit better every week, it seems. He's 9th best average DraftKings points over the last 6 races at Richmond. So that's huge. Now, obviously he's not in the 5 car anymore, so I don't expect him to be quite that high. But coming from 29th, it's definitely not out of the question for him to get a top 20 tomorrow. So, yeah. Anything better than top 20 would be outstanding out of Kane, as far as I'm concerned, with his value tomorrow. So that's what I'm looking for out of him. And I got a dark horse here for you guys. Daniel Hemrick, $5,900. His first ever Cup race. Now, I am not the guy to bet on rookies, especially on short tracks, in their first season or first time going there in the Cup car or whatever. However, showed pretty good speed today. Suarez managed to finish well in his rookie season, both races here last year, so it's not out of the question. And Hemrick had 2 real solid top 5s in the Xfinity Series here last year, getting beat by Cup guys both times. So he's got me wondering. I don't think a lot of people are going to own him, which is good, especially if you're playing tournaments. If you can find a guy who not a lot of people have, but has a really good day, you're looking pretty good. So he's definitely my dark horse pick this week. He could not surprise me and run shitty, but he could surprise a lot of people and have a really solid day tomorrow, and that would be fantastic. So something to think about as you're making your lineups this week, especially if you're getting down there and you need somebody that's not real expensive. Alright, those are my main guys. Like, those are the guys I'm going to try to put my teams with for the most part. Excuse me. There's a couple other notable drivers I'm going to throw in here to mix up your lineups a little bit. There's only a couple I got. Denny Hamlin, wasn't thrilled with his car today, but still managed to qualify 4th and was pretty good in practice. So him not being thrilled with his car means to me that it's alright, but he doesn't think he can win with it yet. So they're going to do some work overnight. Who knows? Richmond's one of his best tracks. I would definitely expect him to have a solid day tomorrow. Whether they can get it running good enough to lead laps and knock out some fastest laps, the bonus points are going to be key for him tomorrow. If he can rack them up, then he's definitely worth it. If he doesn't manage to get up to the front, then he probably won't hit his value, even if he has a solid top 5 finish. So we'll have to see how it goes. But definitely something to think about. Kurt Busch. I usually stay away from Kurt Busch, not going to lie. He is extremely inconsistent for me. However, he's the 3rd highest scoring average DraftKings earner at this track in the last 6 races. So you got to look out for him. Starting 6th tomorrow, I would expect he should run in the top 10 tomorrow all day. As long as he stays out of trouble, doesn't do anything stupid on pit road or anything. So he should have a solid day. 8,900 may or may not be worth it. Depends on how good of a day he really does have. But it's something to consider. Eric Jones. Eric Jones almost made my other list. I was very tempted to put him on my other list. I'm just not quite sure. $8,600 was not that bad. He was one of the best cars here in the fall last year. Hands down, had one of the best cars. Real solid finish. He's pretty good in practice today. Good top 10 qualifying position. I would look for him to stay in the top 10 tomorrow. And you never know. He's one of those guys that could absolutely just come out and have a breakout day tomorrow. I just kind of have a weird feeling about that. But not enough to like really trust it. It's one of those kind of feelings. But he'll make it into some of my lineups just in case that slight feeling does pan out. Definitely somebody to look out for though. And David Reagan, the cheapest guy on my list this week, coming in at $5,500. Coming off a great 12th place finish last week. Couldn't really ask for a better week out of him last week. He ran really well. All the Roush cars ran really well last week. Starting 15th this week. Car looks solid in practice. Not quite as solid as last week, but should have a pretty good day tomorrow. Looking for a top 20 out of him. If he places 18th or better, he'll hit 4 times his value. So that's what we're really looking for. If you play Reagan, you're looking for an 18th place finish or better out of him. Definitely think it's possible. It all depends how the race plays out. See if he can stay out of trouble all day. But like I said, guys, the key definitely on these short tracks are the bonus points. If you guess right on the guys who are going to lead the laps and run the fastest laps, you're going to be okay. Even if 1 or 2 of your guys on your team happens to suck, you're probably still going to end up in the money. Because usually the top 2 guys will knock out almost 250 points themselves. So that's going to be the key, picking those right guys. So hopefully I did some good research for you guys, and that pans out. Guys, just trust your gut. It's the first night race of the year, so anything can happen, but it should be a hell of a show with all these guys coming from the back that should have good cars. So sit back, enjoy the race, and may the cautions be with you guys. Don't forget, like the Facebook page, hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all the videos, and we'll see you next week. Later. Okay, I did one more thing this week that I want to show you guys. Hopefully you can read my chicken scratch. But what I did was I went back and looked at the last couple races. It's actually the last 4 races, and I used the DraftKings salary that's posted for this week. And I wanted to see, using the salaries for this week, what would have been the winning teams for those races. Just see if I could spot any trends or something or anything like that. So I did the last 4 races. If you guys can read these. No, probably not. Nope, I don't think you can. So those were those were fall 2017, fall and spring 2017. I have another one, it's 2016, but I don't think it's gonna work real well here. So basically, all I found by doing that, the names that stood out that were on there multiple times for multiple different races were Truex and Logano. Other than that, the other guys were fairly all over the place. Kyle Busch showed up a couple times, but that was before the repave. Last year during the repave, he didn't fare real well. So, yeah, I'll do that again next week and see if I come up with a little bit different results for Bristol. But I think I'm going to start doing that every week. I'm going to see if I can find a way next week for you guys to be able to see it on the screen a little better. Because that was a fail, but it is what it is. We learn as we go around here. But good luck this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Check us out on Facebook. Post some more information on there if you guys want to check it out. It's all at Stockcar Rundown. And may the caution be with you. We'll see you again next week. Later.